All right, Colorado, we are back. Man, it's time to take your underachieving, failing, not clutch at all Colorado Avalanche into the Year 5 offseason after a horrible Stanley Cup final against the Carolina Hurricanes. The freaking Hurricanes, man, with 7 playmakers in their top 9, an average team at best, and they whoop our ass. They don't just beat us, they whooped our ass, and this is what I can't stand. Our team dominates all throughout the Western Conference. We get by the best team in the NHL, the Winnipeg Jets. Only took us, 5 games, right? And then the freaking Carolina Hurricanes, who didn't appear to have a great defensive squad. I'm sorry, I was not impressed with their defense. We see the same thing that we saw against the St. Louis Blues from last year. Our inability to get that third goal by the end of regulation. Game 1, we took it 2-1, so our goaltender and defense helped us out. But our offense, only 2 goals for. Game 2, it took us overtime. I think it was the second overtime or late in the you know what, I can't remember. I'll take that back. But it took overtime for us to get that third goal. So a 2-0 series lead, and then the wheels fell off the bus. And I know, boys, it's Jean-Luc Picard's fault. I'm not going to try to beat around the bush here, right? But the offense, this is what pisses me off. We have so many offensive players, but the Hurricanes, they just shut us down. So in Game 3, they take it 3-1. Okay, fine. They're due for a comeback. And then this is where it was just unbelievable. 7-0 loss in game number 4, right? So there's back-to-back games where we only score 1 goal. Unbelievable. So 4 games so far, and we were unable to get that third goal by the end of regulation. Then we finally answer back. Our offense gets 4 goals in the third period. It was a crazy freaking game. But our starting goaltender, the captain of the Starship Enterprise, he allowed 5, and that was horrible. I was thinking that after a game 4 where he allowed 7 goals, he'd answer back with a godlike game, but no. And then Game 7, because he got us this far, in hindsight, it's obvious I should have went with Ilya Samsonov, but I'm still looking at the lack of offense. Again, the Game 6, we failed to get that 3 goals by the end of regulation. So you can say it's our goaltending, you can say it's our offense. The point is, the Colorado Avalanche did not get it done when they had a 2-0 series lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. We had 14 wins. All we needed was 2 more, and we lost 4 in a row to get swept out of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's basically a sweep, man. 4 in a row. I still can't believe it. So let's get to the NHL entry draft. I really don't know what I want to do here. You guys know it's the 3-year plan. Oh yeah, the Stanley Cup champions, the Carolina Hurricanes, the Calder Cup champions, Charlotte Checkers. I'm going to take a stab. Is Charlotte like North Carolina, or something like that? Are you telling me the Carolina Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup and their AHL affiliate also won the Calder? For God's sakes, man. What kind of team do they have over there? What the hell has the general manager been doing? He's been building up that squad tremendously. Okay, so the draft lottery results, the Anaheim Ducks going number 1, the Arizona Coyotes going number 2, Islanders, Rangers 3 and 4 respectively, St. Louis at number 5, and look at that, some traded picks. Really moving up in the draft. The Calgary Flames, they're going to be pissed off. The Islanders got their 3rd overall pick from them. And the Florida Panthers, their 5th overall pick goes to the St. Louis Blues. So some good trades by those general managers right there, boys, okay? So I was beginning to talk about our plan, view retired players. Yeah, you know what? Before we get there, let's just make sure that nothing pops up here. So goaltenders, nope. We got a young team. I know I could probably take a look around the NHL, but I'm not in the mood to do that right now, boys. Just lost in the Stanley Cup Finals, and I'm pissed off. So let's do player stats, awards, all that good stuff, and then we'll get into strategy on what should we do with this team, okay? So first up, let's go with awards. So your Stanley Cup champions in year number 5, the Carolina Hurricanes. My God. Or is it year number 5 or year number 4? It's year number 5, right? Because 16-17, right? You know what? I'm getting confused. The Chicago Blackhawks, 16-17, right? I'm thinking 13-14. Yeah, this is year number 5. So the Blackhawks in year number 1, the Lightning in year number 2, the Canadiens 3, Montreal Canadiens 4, and the Hurricanes number 5. It looks like the Eastern Conference is dominated over the last 4 years. So the fact that we made it to the Western Conference Final, I guess it's not that big of a deal. President's Trophy goes to the Winnipeg Jets and their lethal first line. The Clarence S. Campbell awarded to the team with the winner of the Western Conference, so we finally got there. It just pisses me off that we couldn't win that Stanley Cup, man. Art Ross goes to John Tavares. Hart Memorial goes to Patrick Laine. James Norris goes to John Klingberg. Lady Byng goes to Patrick Laine. Calder Memorial goes to Owen Tippett from the Vancouver Canucks. Conn Smythe goes to Alexander Wenberg. Vezina Trophy goes to Cam Talbot. William M. Jennings goes to Cam Talbot. Bill Masterton goes to Samuel Morin. Frank J. Selke goes to Alexander Wenberg. Okay, so I start to understand it a little bit better here. Alexander Wenberg, their first-line center, who's a playmaker, not only did he win the Conn Smythe, so he played fantastic for him, he actually is that defensive player that I was suggesting in the last video. You know how I was saying some playmakers, they play better offensively while others play better defensively? Seems like this guy can handle both. So Alexander Wenberg on the Carolina Hurricanes centered them to glory. Ted Lindsay goes to Patrick Laine, and Maurice Richard goes to John Tavares, who had an incredible year. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs and see who stepped up for us and maybe who didn't. Who's on the trading block now, okay? So points. Is it Clayton Clutch Keller? Yes, it is. So Clayton Clutch Keller with 12 goals in 21 games played, 20 points. A very good playoff run for this young lad. And what has he done in the previous years? I mean, 30 goals this year. Yeah, I think he's our first liner alongside of either Nathan MacKinnon or Nolan Patrick. In the playoffs last year, he didn't have the greatest year, but this year he really made a mark for himself. So if we want to answer back with next year, we need Clayton Keller to be a part of the team. Same thing with Maxime Comtois with 15 assists in 21 games played. Adam Henrique, he's due for a contract. The good news is that he's still listed as exact elite, so even if I get only one more year out of him, third-line center, first-line penalty killer, still would be fantastic for us. Hang on one second here, boys. All right, never mind. I thought I heard a noise upstairs. Apparently not. I'm going crazy. So Adam Henrique, we were just on. Emile Poirier, the fourth line, 12 points, unbelievable. Tyson Jost, 7 goals. Now, I may want to use Tyson Jost a little bit more in the future because he gets goals just like Clayton Keller. So Nathan MacKinnon, 7 goals as well. We got to figure out what we want to do with these two guys. I don't think playing them on the same line would be beneficial because they're both goal scorers. But like a guy like Maxime Comtois and Adam Henrique, who gets all the assists, right? Put these two goal scorers along these two guys. I think Tyson Jost is already with Adam Henrique. Maybe that's why their goals and assist totals are the way they are. Nolan Patrick at 10 points. Nathan MacKinnon, 11 points. So they really dropped the ball there towards the end of the playoffs. It was a whole team effort, but like I said, our lack of offense in the Stanley Cup Finals really hurt us, and there's no reason why we should have a lack of offense. 98 overall. So you guys want to point the finger at our goaltender? I will. Don't get me wrong, I will, but the blame also has to be pointed here at MacKinnon and Nolan Patrick. 90 overall, 91 overall, and they only managed to combine for 21 points in 21 games played, right? Not good. You'd hope that both of those guys would be point per game. Nick Kerdiles, 8 points. See what I mean? Fourth liner, 2 points less than Nolan Patrick. Freaking Emile Poirier had more points than both of those two guys. Frederic Gauthier, 8 points as well. Jonathan Drouin, 7 points. So we didn't get Jonathan Drouin going. JT Compher, 7 points. Kevin Hayes, 4 points. Yeah, so as the series went on there, we really stopped to score goals. Derek Pouliot leading our defensive core in points with 14. Cam Fowler with 13. Tyson Barrie, 5. Ryan Merkley, I hope to see a good jump from him in the offseason. We need him to become like 90 overall for this team to get better soon. And goaltenders, let's see what he did. Jean-Luc Picard, I see it's all in the last 3 games. Even after the last 3 games where he allowed 17 goals in 3 freaking games. His goals against average is 2.14 and his save percentage is still .930. So, I mean, Picard had 14 amazing wins for the Colorado Avalanche, and then he just shit the bed. I'll give it to you guys. He just shit the bed. In hindsight, I should have went with Ilya Samsonov, right? So we got to decide what we can do here. Now I guess it's the time that we get to strategy. So first, let's go to our contract screen. I believe that we can go. I hope that we can go to our contract screen. And I want to take a look at all the players whose contracts are up this year. Players that we have to give deals to. If we can come back with the same team for next year, I'd like to do it. But if we have to sign somebody, then we're going to have to free up some cap space. So right now, we have just under $6 million of cap space available, right? We got all the guys signed to a long-term contracts. We have the 3-year time, not long-term contracts, but the 3-year time frame. This was year number 1, so we only have another 2 years after this before the contracts go insane and we completely have to retool this team, right? So this year, it's going to be shown in the 2021-2022 column. We got Adam Henrique, who needs a contract, but I know I can give him less than $8 million. Remember, that $8 million contract was when we snagged him from free agency. Now, because he's on our team, I can give him probably around $5 million. So we're saving like $3 million right there, which is good. Mark Stahl, I'd like to bring Mark Stahl back. You're going to have to give him a little bit more money as a veteran, top 6 veteran defenseman for us. Okay, so we'll see there. Let's continue down. Nick Kerdeals, I'm going to have to give him a contract. He might want similar money, maybe even a little bit more. Frederic Gauthier. What about this? Tyson Jost, he's going to want a big boy contract. He's going to want something around $2-3 million, maybe less if I give him short term. Radek Faksa, anybody else? Okay, so those are all the skaters that need the contracts. It's just Tyson Jost, Nick Kerdeals, Mark Stahl, and Adam Henrique. So considering we already have $6 million and Adam Henrique's going to free up some, I think we'll actually be okay. What about goaltenders here? I know you guys want us to trade away Jean-Luc Picard, right? But remember, when we traded for Ilya Samsonov, we got the Washington Capitals to retain half his salary. He's got 1 more year after this. Now, I know Picard's got kind of a bigger contract, but what I would like to do is maybe go into next season with both of these two guys, because Samsonov is probably going to get growth. You can then trade them over the course of the season after you see who's simulating better, and also it would make sure that you have a backup right out the gate, right? Because I don't know. Let me go back to in the system. DePenta, I think DePenta's going to be ready to play backup time next year. Yeah. See, I would like to wait to preseason to see how everyone jumps before I make any trades, and I don't think we're going to run into salary cap issues. And there's nothing that I need to improve on this team. This team just needs to grow. Like, Nolan Patrick can get better. Ryan Merkley, like I said, could get better. Tyson Jost, Clayton Clutch Keller. All these guys could grow. JT Comp for Frederic Gauthier. Yeah, you know what? So we're not going to do any trades or any nonsense here at the draft, boys. I know people are saying to cut the captain of the Starship Enterprise, Jean-Luc Picard. That still might be the plan. But I'd like to see how Gabriel DePenta grows in the offseason. If he's like 84, 85, then yeah, we can go with Ilya Samsonov and DePenta for next year. But if he stays at 82, 83, maybe it would be better to have those two 88-plus overall goaltenders and trade away DePenta. Because Samsonov is only 24. He could be our goaltender of the future, right? So a lot of different options here, boys. Let's just get through the NHL entry draft. So sim to the user pick. Let's see who goes in the top 5. Do we have our first round pick this year? I can't remember if we traded away or not. I think we did trade it away. Did we not for Berg Force? They want our goaltender for a 3rd round pick. No, I'm going to take my holy shit, yeah, we didn't have a first. Do we even have a second? Is the second at like 30th? Oh, yes, okay. So, good news is that there are some top 6 defensemen, top 9. Looks like there were some players ahead of us. But yeah, I guess I forget what I put the pick for. Or I traded the pick for. Who was it? Is it for, like Mark Stahl? Yeah, it was like Mark Stahl, Kevin Hayes, and something. Yeah, when I loaded up at the trade deadline. Okay, so the Anaheim Ducks, they get Kolesnik, a left-wing sniper, elite, medium. Jay Goulet, left-wing power forward, medium elites. Brathwaite, high top 9. B. McPherson, two-way forward, medium elite. So there's definitely some medium elites there. Medium starter. Okay, very good. Now we will go to our pick, which is 29th in the 2nd round. Is there anyone that we can find here? Let's see. Okay, so let me just sort by. There's certainly some bottom 6. Here we go, Marleau. So he looks to be going in the 3rd round, but we're basically already in the 3rd round, yeah. So I think this guy would be the best. Fringe starter, bottom 6 forward. These guys are going in the 4th round. These guys are all like top 9. Might be low top 9. Let me just go down here a little bit. Is there anything back up? Now, you know what? I'm going to take that guy at the top. This guy could end up being a medium top 6 or a low top 6. K. Marleau. Power forward in the 3rd round. Let me take a look at his individual stats. He's 18 years of age, right-handed from the OHL. He's got some 70s in the shooting category. Yeah, you know, I'll take a chance on Chris Marlowe. Here we go. Welcome to the Colorado Avalanche. Hopefully he's medium top 6. Did it say low top 6? Okay, so he was the low top 6. That's fine. It's him to use your pick. It's, I don't know. I think low top 6 could still be a very good player if their overall is up there. It's better than medium top 9, right? So 4th round now. So I traded away my 3rd round as well. 4th round. Is there anybody available? There are some. Grinder. That's perfect. Okay, so bottom 6 Grinder. T. Reich. Tommy Reich, baby. Right wing grinder. He's 17, so age is really good. This guy's growing. And, what is it? High bottom 6. So if it could say medium top 9 grinder, I'd be very happy with this selection. Is it going to be low top 9? Yeah, low top 9 grinder. So we got a bunch of low players here. So I'm just going to sim the entire draft. The rest, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the, no, I was about to say the 8th. There are no 8th picks. Then the rest are just going to be random, so I'll let the computer take care of it, okay? Now comes the interesting part. Was my math correct? Are we capable of re-signing all the players here on Colorado, get to free agency, and get to preseason with the same roster, and to see if these guys grow for next year? The only player, let's see, age-wise, Adam Henrique, I think, is the oldest. Let's see, Mark Stahl. Well, Mark Stahl is going to be a top 6 defender, so I'm fine with whatever he ends up being, and his potential's still top 4. So if he drops to a top 6 and maybe lowers to an 84, 83, it's still fine for me, right? And all these guys, yeah, Adam Henrique is 31. So age, we are just fine. Now, cap space, 21 million. I got to be careful with this, boys. So goaltenders, you know what, we'll do this, what are we going to do? Yeah, you know what, we'll do this together. Sure, I won't cut this one out because this is important. All right, so Wedgwood. I'm going to release you. Don't need you a part of the team. We got Picard, we got Samsonov, we got DePenta, and we got Bergfors as our goaltenders. So 3 goalies right here, right? It might be time for Picard to go, and you go with Samsonov, DePenta, but it also might be just a good idea to run with Picard and Samsonov for 1 year so that you can have that President's Trophy winning season, then dump Picard after that and bring DePenta up for next year, right? Different looks, different options that we can go ahead with. So defenseman, we got Cam Fowler, Travis Sanheim for 1 more year. Yeah, 1 more year is a big one. Mark Stahl. Let's see how much money Mark Stahl wants. Let's see, 5 mil. Woo, he wants a lot of money. Okay, I think I can offer him a 2-year deal and then trade him at the maybe just 1-year deal. You know what, Mark Stahl? We will try to sign last, all right? Ryan Merkley, here's the one I'm interested in. Now, will his number go up? So if I want to give Ryan Merkley an 8-year deal, the game's only, his asking price for that is only $4.5 million. So he may not grow the way we want him to grow, boys. I'm hoping that he does. So I'm not going to give him a long-term contract. I want to see if he can end up growing. I'm going to give him 2 years at 3.250. Okay, there it is. So he can stay on pace with everyone else. Kampfer, Kempny, Karpatsev. I'll do all the AHL signings afterwards. I can do some power of video editing for that. All right, so Karpatsev, look at this guy. When did we draft this guy again? He's 80 overall. We drafted him 55th overall in 2017. It's interesting because I can't even offer him a 2-way deal for 1 year. Now, if I jack the number up, yeah, you got some growth out of him. Okay, so you know what? For year number 1 here, I'm just going to give him a 1-way deal for 1 year. Let's see if this guy grows at all. All right, Nesterov, Ebert, Carlson, Emlyn. We're hoping for some growth out of these guys. Zucker, Bure. Yeah, I think I'll sign these guys as well. I'll do it afterwards. Esposito. Yeah, Esposito. Jeez. I should know these freaking names. Right wingers. Okay, so Jonathan Drouin, Emile Poirier, both signed on the team. Barchisi, no. Fontaine, Kunackle, Lynn, Shaw, Jaskin, McBride. Don't need any of these guys. Gustafson, any good prospects that we drafted? Here is the grinder, Tommy Reich. He is, what, 57, 58 overall, so he's got some growth, but he's 17 years of age. Yeah, he probably won't end up being anything for us, boys. Left wingers, all right, Maxime Comtois, 90 overall, 22 years of age. He's going to want a big boy contract. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, 8 years, it goes up that high. So remember what I said, the time frame to win a Stanley Cup, 2 years. So that's what I'm keeping everyone on. That way I can keep the salaries down there and really build up this squad. So I'll go, yeah, 2 years at 5.850 for Maxime Comtois. Nick Kerdeals, I need him back on the team. How much does he want now? Beautiful. Okay, so he doesn't want too much. So same thing, 2 years at $3 million for Nick Kerdeals. JT Compher, Ivan Voloshenko. Now, is this guy going to make it up to the team next year? We drafted him in the 3rd round in 2017. Medium top 9, but he's an 81 overall sniper. Now, let's see what kind of... Let's see if I jack it up. Ooh, this guy, he got some growth out of this guy. So I'm going to give him a 1-year deal to see if he can grow for next year. If not, somebody that we can trade during the season to increase the team, all right? But this guy and the other one, you might actually see something out of these guys. Lear Sugihara, I'll sign him afterwards. All right, all these guys down here. K. Marlowe. Low top 6, 63 overall. There was the power forward we picked up in the 2nd round. Yeah, so we didn't have the greatest NHL entry draft this year, boys. Left wingers. Oh, hang on a second. And last but not least, we got centers. We got Nolan Patrick, Nathan McKinnon, Adam Henrique. Now, how much does Adam Henrique want? Ooh, he still wants close to $7 million. Good God. This guy knows his value. All right, so 7.2. Let's go down to 6.5. All right, so we're saving $1.5 million here on Adam Henrique for another 2 years. There it is. Tyson Jost, yep. And we still have to get Mark Stahl back. So let's see Tyson Jost numbers. Yeah, Tyson Jost goes up. You know what? I'm going to save some money here on Tyson Jost. 1 year, okay? 2 years. You know what? 2 years, because he actually may get some real growth this year, and then next year I'll have to sign him to like a $3 or $4 million contract. Let's keep everyone on the same time frame. So 2 years at 1.5 for Tyson Jost. There it is. Radek Faksa, Magna, Kopp. All right, that's everyone taken care of, except for Mark Stahl. So let's advance a day, see how much cap space we have available. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. I want Mark Stahl back. He's a perfect penalty killer. His defensive awareness, shot blocking, and stick checking are way up there. Somebody that I want for a playoff-bound team. Everyone, good. Okay, so we got everyone back on the squad. Our 97 for offense is still there. Defense is at 93. We just got to get Mark Stahl back on the team, and we have, our cap space is only $3 million. Okay, so we may have to part ways with Mark Stahl. Now, what we can do is, I can always trade away Picard in free agency and re-sign Stahl for a 1-year deal. I didn't want to give Mark Stahl anything more than 1 year anyways, because he may drop off, right? So we go down here. Hang on a sec. You know what? I'll just sort by all skaters. So we got $3 million left. It's not the end of the world if we don't get Stahl back. I would like him on the team, but if he wants like $6 million, you know? So Berchizzi, I don't need any of these guys. Faxa, no, don't need any of these guys. Don't need any of these guys. Be nice to get them, but I don't need them. Yeah, okay, so Mark Stahl is the only player that we need to sign. So how much did he want again? 5.1. All right. 5.1 million, 3.45. No, that's not going to work, okay? So we're not going to be able to get Mark Stahl back right now. But what we can do in free agency is trade away Jean-Luc Picard and re-sign him if we want. But remember, we also have some defensemen coming up in the system, right? What was his name? Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not Kampfer, not Kempny, Karpatsev. He's 80 overall, 22 years of age. I mean, 82, 83 is when they hit the top 6 mark. So if this guy grows for next year, his shot blocking is 84, his stick checking is 85. He's a drafted player in Colorado. That would free up cap space that we could trade away, what's his name, Picard, and maybe sign somebody better in free agency, right? So, yeah, that's what we'll do. So let me go through the rest of the team. I'm going to do it right now so you guys can see. I'm going to go ahead and cut Mark Stahl from this roster. He's 34 years of age. You may see him drop off, and I don't want to give him a contract. Like his contract, he's asking for something right now based on how he is right now. But you may see him drop to an 85, 84 for next season. And then he's only worth like $3 million. So I'm going to release Mark Stahl. Thank you very much for your playoff effort, Mark. But we got to move on, all right? So let me go ahead and edit this roster, boys. Hang on. Okay, I went ahead and cleaned up the rest of our roster. A lot of our AHL players were looking for one-way deals. I mean, a lot of them, the majority of them. They all wanted a one-way, 1.5 mil or 1.1 mil, something like that. So our AHL squad needs to be edited completely. So you know what? I had ideas about going to preseason in this video. This is clearly a video we stop at free agency because of the massive trade that is impending. We have incredible trading assets and we have to free up cap space, right? So it makes all the sense in the world to trade away somebody and bring in a stud for the 2-year time frame. And it seems like the guy that needs to be traded away is Jean-Luc Picard. That 4-point-something million, just not going to fly on this team anymore. So show you guys everyone that signed on this team, all right? let's go by overall wise for right now, all skaters. So you got Cam Fowler at $8 million. That was a lot for free agency, but again, 2 more years, right? This is the 2-year time frame. Nolan Patrick, 2 years. McKinnon, 2 years. Maxime Comtois, 2 years. Jonathan Drouin, 2 years. Adam Henrique, 2 years. Sandheim's only 1 year, but he's RFA, which is good. Barry, 2 years. Pouliot, 2 years. Clayton Keller, 2 years. Merkley, 2 years. Kevin Hayes, there's a trade bait right there, boys. This is what I mean about trade bait. Kevin Hayes and Picard, right? Kerr Deals, 2 years. Frederic Gauthier, 2 years. JT Compher, 3 years, because I want to trade away JT Compher after that. Tyson Joe's 2 years, all right? So everyone on this team is basically on a 2-year deal. So we have got to get this sucker done this year. If we don't win the Stanley Cup this year, we're going to have to make some major changes in preparation for the upcoming year, right? Because I can't let guys drop to free agency. These UFAs like Adam Henrique, Cam Fowler, right? It's that's why it was so damn disappointing to miss out on the Stanley Cup this year. Oh my God. So we got everyone back on the team, right? There's one. Our cap space is $2.2 million. Now, there's one more player I didn't sign that I was on the fence about because he wants a one-way deal. Cole Linden. Now, when did we draft this guy? It was year number 1, 2017, in the second round, 57 overall. Low top 6, but he's 80 overall, and he's got... he's got a really hard wrist shot. Skating is really good. You never know, right? He could end up growing, and if anything, he becomes some trade bait. Now, I wanted to free up as much cap space as I could for free agency. So you know what? I'm just going to tender this guy. I'm going to qualify RFA. So you guys got to remind me about Cole Lind in the next video for the start, because I don't want to just leave him as a qualified RFA. I don't want him to accept it, and I don't want some other team to snag him up. I want to be able to trade him, right? So we got everyone signed, but we have 3 trading assets. Well, we have actually more, because I wouldn't be opposed to trading away a first or a second. Again, we're a Stanley Cup team, right? But Jean-Luc Picard, I think it's time to go. We can have one great year with Samsonov and DePenta, and what I mean by great year is these guys are not making a lot of money, so we can get a little bit lucky with 1 year with 2 goaltenders that can get it done, but then after that year, we're going to have to sign them, but then we can trade away some guys to free up that cap space. But for right now, Calvin Picard making almost $5 million, the guy had his chance here in Colorado. He certainly had his chance. If you take a look at some of his statistics, I ran with Jean-Luc Picard. Let's see, 2016-17, right? We traded away Semyon Varlamov right away. 68 games, 69 games, 73 games, 59. This year, 64. His save percentage, let's see what it's been like. Where is it? .922 this year. His save percentage was great this year. Last year, not great. The year before that, good. The year before that, good. So he's had 3 good years out of 5, right? Out of the playoffs, again, I couldn't blame him. It was year number 2 against the St. Louis Blues. Wasn't his fault. Year number 3 against the Vancouver Canucks. Wasn't his fault. Year number 4 against the St. Louis Blues. Wasn't his fault. And then this year, he had the best playoff run of his life. But then 3 games. All it took was 3 games to have the entire city turn against you. Oh, Calvin Picard, it could have been so good for you, my man. You could have been our starting goaltender. So I think Calvin Picard's got to go, boys. All right, and also, where was it? Kevin Hayes. Kevin Hayes, 86 overall. So those 2 guys are going to have some real good trade value, especially now that Picard's 88 instead of the 86. He's got that growth, so a little bit more, right? So let's advance to free agency. We'll see who's available. It's not, how do I say this? I don't necessarily want to sign a free agent to make this team better, because you're talking about somebody that you have to give a lot of money to, right? But trading for a superstar player with the right contract, somebody who's got like 2 or 3 years left at an affordable deal that can make our team better, hell yeah. So let's just do our due diligence, take a look at free agency first. We know that Mark Stahl is going to be there. Yeah, Mark Stahl is the best defender available. He still wants that $5.4 million, so it's a lot. Chris Kreider is in there, 86. Jonas Brodin, 86. Okay, so I was going to say Hampus Lindholm. No, Elias Lindholm. So the Carolina Hurricanes lost somebody. Ryan Getzlaf. Woo! How about that? How about some depth for your 4th line? Break out Ryan Getzlaf. No, we don't have any room for him in $5 million. No, thank you. Okay, boys. So you can see everyone who's available. Ryan Murray's down here. Bring him back on the team. Defensive defenseman for he wants the same kind of money as freaking everyone. No. He might be angry. That's why he's 83. If he's 83, but he's asking for $4 million, Ryan Murray might actually be better than that. Okay, so I'll just go down the list and show you guys everyone that's available. If you think that there's somebody that can help the team out, you let me know. And also UFAs, let me just go by goaltenders just to see. Even though we already have 3 goalies, we don't need to take a look at it if you guys just want to know who's out there. All right, Robin Lehner, Devin Dubnyk, Jim Reimer, baby. Go get a backup in Jim. Okay, so now that you've seen the free agency list, I really don't see any players that I would like to sign other than Mark Stahl. If we just want to say, you know what, there's no one to trade for, just unload Picard for a first or a second, and then use the extra cap to bring Mark Stahl back and have the same team, basically. We could do that. Or we could make a splash, and this is where you guys come in. So what do you think we should do? Let me just show you the trade values. I'll break them all on the table. Goaltender, all right? So we got, look at Calvin Picard's trade value now because he jumped to an 88. His trade value is higher than Samsonov's and DePenta's. That's what I mean, man. Picard's, I think he's a good goalie. This is going to come back to bite us in the ass if we trade away Jean-Luc Picard. But that trade value, man, because remember when he dropped to an 86, that trade value drops, right? Like it drops tremendously. It might, you know what? It might be the best time in the world to trade him away right now. It just sucks. I wanted to win with Picard so bad. He deserved it. 3 freaking games. All right, where was Kevin Hayes? Is he a center? Kevin Hayes. Yes, he is. All right, so Kevin Hayes in there as well. And then, what was his name? What's his freaking name? I forget his name. The RFA guy. Let's see what kind of trade value he's got on him. There he is. RFA. Colin. There it is. So some trade value on Colin. 80 overall, top 6 low. So I'll put him in the trade as well. And also, we can go one last one. The draft picks for this year. Sure, why not? First overall pick. We traded away our first last year. So you can see that trade value is a lot, right? I'm not going to do this trade. But say we just want to see it for for argument's sake. Let's see what Connor McDavid looks like, all right? So somebody with the highest trade value compared to ours, looks kind of similar. It looks like we get up there. Now, when it comes to salary and players on the team, you know, that's going to be something to work out. But we have the potential here, boys, and the cap space to make a trade for a stud with the right contract. I'm not going to go through every single team to show you guys the players. You just have to use your imaginations, all right? This is year number 5. So who would be the right age? Who would be the right contract? Any players that were drafted in the first 5 years. I'd trade for a prospect as well. So anything and everything, boys. How can we make this Colorado Avalanche squad that much better so that we can go one step further and win that freaking elusive Stanley Cup? Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to check out our website, 2bcsports.com, where the hockey talk continues. Find myself and others in the live interactive chat, or dive into the active forums to talk about sports and gaming. You can also find us on Twitch, where the live streams come to life.